once again, I couldn't resist the temptation and ended up grabbing another set of denim. Earlier this year around, I guess February or March, I went to Tokyo and bought the Momotaro Jeans Classic line, which was my entry into both Amikaji and Heritage denim. And at the time, I thought to myself, all right, one pair of good denim is all I need, and I had no intention of buying any more. But as time went on, I couldn't help but get curious about other designs, I kept wondering how denim from other brands would feel on my body, or thinking that I wanted a different shade or colorway. And to be honest, I was just making up excuses. My true inner desire was simply that I wanted to buy more denim from different brands. And because I'm strictly obsessed with Japanese made denim, I was searching exclusively for pieces marked made in Japan. So that led me to buy my Levi's LVC about a month ago, and even then I gave myself a firm promise. Okay, this is seriously the last one. But just a few days later, a close friend mentioned to me that out of all the denim he's ever worn in his life, Fullcount is by far the most comfortable. Now, do you really think I'm the kind of guy who would just nod his head and move on after hearing that? Absolutely not. The second those words left his mouth, before I even realized what I was doing, my finger had already clicked the buy button. The buy button, like literally. But anyway, enough with the long introduction. Today we're going to talk about Fullcount's black super smooth 2107 Type 1 jacket and the 0105 wide fit jeans, and which is I'm wearing right now, this one. Okay. But before moving on to Fullcount, if you want to watch my Momotaro Jeans Classic line unboxing, you can click right here. And if you want to see my LVC video, click right here. I also have an unboxing video for my Japanese engineer boots, which you can check out right here. Man, I put way too many links right now. Honestly, you can just comfortably head over to my channel page and see them all in one spot. So I still have quite a few Japanese Amikaji items I bought that I haven't reviewed yet. So I really need to be more diligent with my video production. Okay, so getting back to Fullcount, acquiring these pieces was actually quite a struggle. And FYI, my girlfriend is Japanese, and right around the time I was eyeing this setup, she happened to have to trip back home to Japan scheduled. And for context, she and I currently live together in Busan, South Korea. Since she had to go to Japan anyway, she offered to buy the setup as a gift for me while she was over there. Thanks once again. And naturally, buying it locally in Japan is significantly cheaper, and with the weak yen, it made me way more sense for a Korean buyer like me. And the timing was so perfect, so I didn't hesitate for a second. I thanked her gratefully and waited. And so to place the order, I needed to give her my exact size, right? Assuming Japan would obviously be much cheaper than Korea, I went onto a Korean Fullcount distributor's website just to check the sizing layout. But when I clicked in, what do you know? The price difference between Korea and Japan was surprisingly minimal. You know what, like before, when I bought Momotaro jeans and Japan blue jeans, samurai jeans, those kind of stuff, those brand has significantly, there was a big gap between Korea and Japanese price. But for this one, Fullcount, I don't know why, but the price gap was surprisingly minimal. So I was completely caught off guard. Like anyone else, I wanted to receive the product as fast as possible, so I decided to order the jacket right away in Korea and ask my girlfriend to bring the pants from Japan. Now you might ask, what about the jeans, right? So for a bit of explanation, when you look at Fullcount jeans, there are various cuts the 1101, 1108, and 0105. So first of all, the 1101 is a regular straight, the 1108 is a slim fit, and the 0105 is a wide fit. Originally, I really wanted to go with the 1108 slim fit. For reference, my lower body is extremely built. Maybe it's because I played soccer when I was a student, but my glutes and thighs are super thick and solid. So even though my waist is relatively trim, I always have to buy wide, heavy cut pants. Because of that, I've always had this personal dream of wearing slim fitting pants to make my legs look leaner and make me look taller. I think anyone out there with thick legs can deeply relate to this. And honestly, if you have thick legs, trying to buy slim fit raw denim is a pure madness. But there was a specific reason I decided to push for the Fullcount 1108. First of all, Fullcount's fabric itself has a surprising amount of natural give and stretch. It's so noticeable that if you read the reviews, people actually tell you to size down because the fabric stretches out so much. And on top of that, I was looking at the SS, which is like double S. You can call it super smooth line, which they call like at Fullcount, which is even more flexible, lightweight, and thin. So to briefly explain about super smooth, standard Fullcount denim is usually 13.7 ounce or 15.5 ounce, but the super smooth line comes in at a light 11.5 ounce in its one wash state, offering the absolute ultimate softness and fit against your skin. But you know what, like before trying it on, I thought, why are people exaggerating so much? But once I actually put it on, I totally got it. I'm not exaggerating too, but like I totally got it. But anyway, given that the fabric was this forgiving, I figured out, I would have no problem fitting it into the 1108 slim fit. Now, why did I ask my girlfriend to get the pants in Japan? While the regular 1108 line is sold in Korea, the 1108 BKSS, which is the 1108 black super smooth, was completely sold out and unavailable everywhere in Korea. I mean, I just said sold out, right? But it's not sold out. Like 1108 BKSS, it's not on sale everywhere in Korea. So I just had to buy that pants in Japan. So I had no choice but to ask her to hunt it down over there. And after that, my girlfriend left for Japan, and during the 1 week until she returned, my 2107 BKSS jacket arrived at my door. As you can see, it adopts the classic Type 1 silhouette. Even though the product color is officially named black, it's not a pitch black tone, but you can see subtle specks of white woven throughout. And the black itself sits somewhere in a mysterious, sophisticated middle ground between black and dark charcoal gray. I mean, I can tell it looks incredibly sleek. If you are my subscribers, as you guys know, I'm a total cinch bag addict. I love the cinch bag design because it carries that vintage heritage mood. But beyond that, there's just something about a cinch bag that feels insanely sexy to me. I don't know why, but that's how I feel. And out of the 3 denim setups, like what I'm having right now is the LVC Heritage line, which is Levi's LVC and Momotaro Jeans Classic line, and also what I'm wearing right now, the Fullcount. So out of the 3 denim setups I currently own, one is Type 2 and the other 2 are Type 1 setups with cinch backs. So I guess I am truly serious about them. So moving on, as for the fabric, like I mentioned earlier, it needs no extra explanation. If you have zero experience with denim and your very first purchase is Fullcount, you might not feel the exact same level, of shock as I did. But as someone who has worn Momotaro jeans and LVC, experiencing Fullcount super smooth made me think, wait, is this actually denim? It was hands down the softest, most comfortable and effortless denim fabric I have ever laid hands on, like seriously. So before buying, I read a few reviews claiming that because Fullcount super smooth is so thin and soft, it rips and wears out easily. But after trying it on in person, I don't think that's accurate at all. Those comments felt a bit dramatic. In my subjective experience, it feels incredibly soft and comfortable while remaining remarkably durable. And you definitely don't need to worry about ripping easily during daily wear. I'll make sure to upload a follow-up review after wearing it for about like 5 months, so stay tuned for that. However, I noticed a pretty big difference when it came to the jacket sizing. So my true size for denim jackets has always been a 42. For your reference, I'm 176 centimeters tall and weigh 89 kilograms. I live in Asia, I don't know pounds or inches, those kind of stuff, and please do your math. And with a fairly athletic built frame, as I mentioned. So in Momotaro jeans, one wash, I wear a 42, and LVC rigid, I went with a 44, and both ended up having very similar sleeve and overall body lengths. But for Fullcount, I also went with my usual 42 in one wash, but the body length and sleeve length came out noticeably shorter. You know what? Like when I stand straight, my other denim jackets usually cover my wrist and my watch, but the Fullcount 2107 BKSS was short enough that my watch was completely visible. And the body length had a clear difference as well, as you can see on the screen right now. So was it a sizing mistake? Personally, no, actually. I loved it in a totally different way, you know, because I have a built physique. I kind of like, you know, showing off the work I put in at the gym. So I actually enjoy a snugger, tighter fit. So I will say this Fullcount jacket satisfied that exact craving. When I first put it on, and I did think, it's my true size. So why does it feel small? But due to the nature of the fabric, as I wore it, it quickly stretched out and molded to my body shape. Though the sleeve length stayed the same, of course. Even though it was already one washed, I decided to run it through the washing machine one more time. I buttoned up all the jacket buttons, flipped it inside out, and read it on a wool cycle at 40 degrees Celsius. But you know what? Normally, if you're washing denim purely for maintenance, 30 degrees is recommended. But I set it to 40 degrees, hoping for a tiny bit of extra shrinkage. I don't know why. It was already small enough, but I just wanted to experiment that. But anyways, after letting it air dry naturally, I tried it on, but there wasn't a huge difference, you know. Right after drying, it felt slightly tighter, but as I said, the fabric gives so easily that it stretched right back out to fit me comfortably. So in conclusion, while the size 42 felt a bit smaller than my usual true to size 42s, I was beyond satisfied with it. If you prefer a traditional, relaxed, true to size fit, unlike me, I recommend sizing up by one size specifically for the 2107 BKSS. Okay, now moving on to the pants. My girlfriend finally returned to Korea, and after a long week of waiting, I received them. After getting the jacket first, waiting for the pants almost drove me insane. Like seriously, having the jacket in hand and waiting those 5 extra days for the pants made those 5 days feel like 5 whole weeks. And you might ask if I missed my girlfriend while she was gone. Of course I did. Of course. How could I not miss her when she was holding my new pants? I'm just kidding. I miss her too, of course. Anyway, I immediately received the long-awaited 1108 BKSS pants, and I tried them on, and wow, I nearly lost my mind, you know. But this feeling was a mix of two entirely different types of crazy. The first type of crazy was how insanely soft the fabric felt as it wrapped around my legs. The slim silhouette looked fantastic too, you know. But the second type of crazy was sheer heartbreak and disappointment, because the 1108 BKSS is a slim fit. The rise was extremely low. I was preparing for that. I did some of the research about the size matting. Yeah, it was total failure to me, but it was more than I expected, you know. I'm talking so low that even when I pulled the pants up as high as they could go, the moment I sat down, my underwear was on full display. I tried coping by telling myself I could just wear a belt, but when I cinched the belt down, it felt like my manhood was about to be completely crushed. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of really I was hoping it would fit my body, but unfortunately not. But you know what, my girlfriend is usually the type to support my choices, but when she saw how these fit, she told me straight up. I was kind of surprised too. If we go on a date with you wearing those, don't pretend you know me outside. So with tears in my eyes, I had to process a return for the 1108 BKSS. Thankfully, since my girlfriend had to head back to Japan briefly anyway, she kindly handled the return in Japan for me. Huge round of applause for my girlfriend who went through so much effort for this. Once again, thank you to my girlfriend. So yeah, through this process, I learned an interesting fact about returns in Japan. Apparently in Japan, Japanese retail culture, returning an item is viewed as causing significant inconvenience to the business. So local shoppers select their sizes with extreme caution before buying. But on the other hand, in Korea, free return services are everywhere, and trying things on across all product categories and returning them if you don't like them is totally normal and hassle-free. And on top of that, it's total free too, like returning service. I'm not saying like all the service has a like free service, like free returning service, but what I'm trying to tell is returning service in Korea, it's kind of normal. So learning that it's viewed as a burden on the shop in Japan was really eye-opening. In Korea, you just tap a return button, on an app and you're done. But in Japan, you have to send an official email explaining your intention to return before they even accept it. If you guys have experiences with returns in other countries, let me know in the comments. It would be really interesting to hear. So with the 1108 BKSS sent back, was I going to just wear the jacket alone? Absolutely not. I'm a denim on denim guy, so I strictly wear matching tops and bottoms from the same brand. My backup plan was the 0105 BKSS white fit jeans. So this model was actually available in Korea. So right as I was comfortably getting ready to place the order, boom, my size was completely sold out. I searched every single Korean online store carrying the Fullcount 0105 BKSS, and my true waist size 36 was gone everywhere. All they had left were sizes 34 and below. Just as I was sinking into total despair, I stumbled upon a single ray of hope in a customer review. A massive guy, I'm not lying, like this is true fact, a massive guy who was 191 centimeters tall and weighed 100 kilograms wrote that he bought a size 36. 36. As far as I know, he was wearing his normal waist size was 38 or something, but he bought size 36, and after wearing them about 8 times, and they stretched out perfectly to fit his physique. Can you believe that? But you know what? Since I was sitting there with a lonely jacket and no matching pants, I was fully prepared to run my mental delusion at maximum capacity, no matter how much people told me not to risk it. And I took a massive gamble and ordered the size 34. And thanks to Korea's ultra fast delivery, the pants arrived the very next day. And the moment I picked up the package, I felt a mix of pure excitement, and extreme tension. I slid my legs in and started buttoning them up, and by the skin of my teeth, every single button fastened. And one thing, the thighs and glutes fit my built lower body amazingly well, not too loose, not too tight, but the waist, the waist was definitely pinching. However, holding on to that review from the 100 kilograms giant, I kept telling myself that after 8 wears, everything would be fine, and I wore them consistently. But you know what? Luckily, since I'm not quite as huge as that reviewer, it only took about like 3 wears for the waist to stretch out significantly and mold comfortably to my body. Now it's actually loose enough to slide down my hips, so I've already bought a belt to pair with it. So yeah, I can confidently tell you guys that when it comes to full count pants, going down one size is totally fine. They stretch remarkably well, so keep that in mind when making your choice. You might ask, if you wash them again, won't they shrink back and make you suffer through that break-in process all over again? Remember how I said I washed my jacket at 40 degrees Celsius in the washing machine? I did the exact same thing with these pants, and thankfully the waist held its stretched out shape perfectly. Looking back, if I had gone with my true size 36 in the 0105 white fit, the waist might have felt easy initially, but the glutes and thighs would have had way too much excess fabric, making me look bulky. Since it's already a white fit, it runs large by default. Even though I was looking for a slim silhouette when I tried the 1108, getting the 0105 BKSS in size 34 turned out to be an absolute stroke of genius, And all my denim pants, I always attach this specific metal ring. I use it as a dedicated spot to hook my car key, and it's actually comfortable too. And I really recommend you guys to try to use the metal ring. I can guarantee that it's really comfortable. So anyways, I've been rocking this full count jacket and pants setup for over 2 weeks now. Since the fabric is lightweight, wearing just the pants with a t-shirt in the midsummer heat of July works great because of how breathable it is. But as for the jacket, unless you are indoors with AC, wearing a full denim on denim setup outdoors in peak summer heat is pretty tough, no matter how breathable the fabric is, you know. Since I mostly drive and spend my time indoors, I've been wearing the full setup almost every single day. Because the fabric is so soft and flexible with zero stiffness, I can definitively say that out of all the denim I've ever worn in my life, this Fullcount set is the absolute most comfortable. If any of you know a Japanese denim brand that is even more comfortable than Fullcount, please drop it in the comments below. I gotta buy it right now. And one more thing, I've heard that Fullcount black denim resists fading and maintains this rich color for a very long time, which I actually love because I really adore this exact shade. But for the fact, I'll have to wear it longer to see it for myself, and I'll definitely share a long-term update video down the road. And to wrap things up, I highly recommend this setup. If comfort is your top priority in denim, you simply cannot go wrong with Fullcount. And if you guys haven't tried out Fullcount ever, I really highly recommend try this Fullcount brand to your personal life. So thank you so much for watching my video, and I'll see you guys next time with another great episode. Bye.